A lot of guys my age, I'll hear them say this. They go, every day I think I'm becoming more like my dad. I think I'm becoming more like my mom. Because I was watching that show, Access Hollywood, and one of the reporters said, up next, we have an exclusive interview with Sandra Bullock's former husband, Jesse James. And out loud, I went, ugh, this ought to be good. And with Jewish women, you do not have to guess what they are thinking. They will tell you. My girlfriend's wonderful, though. I listen to everything my girlfriend says. I don't mean she bosses me around. I just listen to everything she says because before I had a girlfriend, I never had someone who's always standing next to me who can just point out obvious things that are happening. Like, we'll be in a restaurant and my girlfriend will be like, you ordered your food an hour ago. It should be here by now. And I'm like, yeah, it should. It's like having a lawyer for everyday life. I was on the highway in Texas recently, which was like a highway filled with 13-year-olds. And I was in the far left lane. And I was going in the far left lane, and then it turned into a U-turn only lane. And I started to make a U-turn, but then I panicked because I didn't want to make a U-turn. So I put the car in reverse and then merged right back onto the highway. The best thing about that was that after that, cars were pulling up and looking over to see who just did that piece of shit move, expecting to see like a 100-year-old blind dog who's texting while driving and drinking a smoothie. Instead, they see a 28-year-old healthy man trying his best. He was kind of moving around the whole time, you know? He was just like, all right, I am too blessed to be stressed. Let's do it. What are you allergic to besides work? And then he'd take something and he'd throw it over his shoulder and be like, beats working. Like, all of his jokes were very anti-work, which is not always what you want from a healthcare professional. Jake McNamara. And he says to me, hey, were you at my party on Saturday? And I said, no. You know, like a liar. Detective, we found a pool of the killer's blood in that hallway. And he would just be like, gross. Mop it up. Oh, I get it. You mean like when someone drinks too much, or snorts cocaine, or bets the house on the ponies? And I was like, yeah, you got it, man. Like when someone smokes too many cigarettes, or like when someone shops too much with credit cards, or like when someone plays too many scratchy lotteries, or like when someone eats too much chocolate cake, or like when someone eats too much chocolate cake and then barfs it up. Here is the number where we'll be, and here's where we keep the dog food, and you're a horse. People walk around on SVU going like, looks like the victim had anal contusions. Yo, looks like we found semen and fecal matter in the victim's ear canal. I was at the doctor's office. He was reading me the results of a blood test. It was important, I listened, and I zoned out. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stare at the wall and think my thoughts. I was like, none of the Beatles had mustaches. But then one day, all of them had mustaches. That's weird. I can't think of a time a group has done that. I was walking downtown today. I was on West 12th Street. I was downtown. I was walking towards this guy. He's walking towards me. He's on his cell phone. We're both downtown. We're on West 12th. As he walks past me, I hear him say, nah, I can't meet right now. I'm way uptown. And then he looked at me and he winked and he kept walking. That guy should be declared mayor of New York City. I don't care if he's had a scandal, automatic mayor, and he probably has, if that's how he conducts himself on a day-to-day basis. If he's lying about his whereabouts at 2 o'clock on a Saturday while I high-fiving random guys on the street. This new phenomenon in my life where, like, late at night on the street, women will see me as a threat. That is funny, yeah, that is silly. That is silly. It's kind of flattering in its own way, but at the same time, it's weird because, like, I'm still afraid of being kidnapped. Like, this is my regular speaking voice, but if I'm in a public bathroom and someone knocks too suddenly on the stall door, I go into a whole different speaking voice, which is, hey, someone's in here! Someone's in here! So if they're gonna be like, I think there's a carnival barker in there. I think someone's trying to drum up business for a carnival. So I got a call, and I said, hello, you know,
And they said...
Good for you. Good improvising already.
Absolutely. Nothing fancy, ordinary hello, right?
Great.
And I had that thought that only blackout drunks and Steve Urkel can have. Did I do that? I hear you honking, and I also don't want me to be doing what I'm doing. Now I live in New York, and I'm psyched, but that is a stupid movie title. Lost in New York, the streets are numbered. How'd you get lost in New York? I know it's kind of stupid to complain about a movie that came out 17 years ago, but I wasn't a comedian back then. So I have to do it now. I wish I'd been a Def Jam comic when that movie came out. I would have torn it to pieces. Be like, you seen it? You seen this Home Alone 2 Lost in New York? It's a grid system, mother. Where you at? 24th and 5th? Where you want to go? 35th and 6th? 11 up and 1 over, you simple bitch. Sometimes when people order fries, they act like it's a little adventure. They'll be like, should we get a plate of fries for the table? Should we do it? Should we share some fries? They gotta make sure that everyone's on board with it. It's like, if I get fries, you'll have a couple, right? If I get fries for the table, I know you'll have fries if I get fries. Should we do it? Yeah, let's be bad. Come on, let's do it. All right, we're gonna take a plate of fries. It's like a group of couples agreeing to do ecstasy together. I walked into this party, everyone I had ever met was there, and everyone was drinking like it was the end of the world. People were drinking like it was the Civil War and a doctor was coming to saw our legs off. It was totally unsupervised. We were like dogs without horses. We were running wild. And if anyone asks, you tell them it was Golden Joe and the Suggins gang. And then they like shoot Suggins into the side of the wall. It's like, what, were bullets free back then?